Nothing makes the girls happier than a perfume haul, and I have 8 new fragrances, 2 candles, and 5 brown sugar babe oils, so let's go ahead and get right in. And also drop down below any new fragrances that you added to your collection because I want to know and I definitely want to check them out. I have tried and used most of these fragrances, but I did save the box because I just feel like that's a part of the fun of the haul. Starting with the one that I'm most excited about, this is Marshmallow Blush by Pear. The packaging is so freaking cute, I can't get over it. The marshmallows that you see inside is exactly what this fragrance smells and feels like. So this fragrance has quickly and easily become one of my favorite fragrances of all time. If you like fragrances like Cali, Young Bougie Marshmallow, this is that except better. It's fluffier, creamier, and more heavy on the marshmallow. Everyone's saying it's better than the OG. Take a look at the Aroma Concepts website and just read the reviews. They will literally have you blown away. This is my dream scent. Like when I'm not wearing my Easy Reach, Clean Girl, you know, unisex fragrances, this is what I want to smell like. Pink fluffy marshmallows, creamy, dreamy, ethereal with a slight addicting musk. And I actually really love the bottle. I've seen some people say they don't really like this gold top up here, but I absolutely love it. And for the fragrance inside, I don't care what it looks like. Next is one that I don't love and I don't think that will be staying in my collection, and this is Cocoa and Latte by Zara. They did just release their new cocoa line, and this one is the one with white chocolate, milk, suede, and chantilly cream. And you guys, I really thought I was gonna love this fragrance, but to me this just basically smells like Bianco Latte or Eclair, but like a little bit more airy and add like a suede leather note. It almost smells like Caramel Cascade, but like a little bit better. I ended up decluttering Caramel Cascade once I got Eclair because I didn't need it, and once I smelled Eclair I was like, there was something missing from Caramel Cascade. You know that rubbery sensation that people were getting from Caramel Cascade? That's kind of what the suede note in this is bringing. It does add a little bit of nuance, but I just don't need a bunch of this type of scent profile. I already know this is on the chopping block for being decluttered. And let me know if you've tried any of the other ones from the Cocoa line. I have been burned by Zara fragrances quite a lot, so I'm not sure that I'll be picking up any more. And the first time I wore this, I did get a blast of alcohol when I first sprayed it, so I went to town. Big mistake. It literally stayed on my clothes and stayed in the air, so it does last a pretty long time. And it's still on my bed sheets to this day from when I sprayed it. So this was a blind buy fail. Next is one that was amazing for me, and this is Lost Alice by Masque Milano. And if you don't know, I'm a huge black tea, just tea in general, fragrance lover, and this has additional notes that just made it irresistible. It has some ambrette tea, clary sage, black pepper, orris, tea, white roses, sandalwood, and steamed milk. I mostly get black tea, some orris root, the carrot seed, and like a beautiful steamed milk. The milk and the sandalwood make this a nice creamy fragrance, but it's not like the milk in a Bianco latte. It's definitely steamed, and I love when a brand gives you a visual so that you can imagine the fragrance. And just imagine Alice falling down into Wonderland and having tea with the rabbit. This is literally what that smells like in a dreamy perfume form. I'm absolutely in love with this, but this is also my type of DNA, so this was a big success for me. And I got this for an inexpensive price. This was literally like maybe $70, so I definitely think it's worth checking out. So next we've got the new It Girl fragrance, and this is Imperial Vanilla by Majouri. And everybody has been talking about this, saying that this is basically Cali Vanilla 28 but better, and you guys, I have to agree. Sometimes something in Cali fragrances, it just does not work for me, but this took everything that I loved about Vanilla 28 and smoothed it out and made it more elegant and wearable. This is literally signature scent worthy. This is the most beautiful vanilla with brown sugar, and the brown sugar is so elevated. And if you just take a look at this bottle, the elevation that you get from the outside is exactly what you get from the inside. I got this from Javoy Paris, and they do have samples, so I definitely still recommend sampling before blind buying, but this was a blind buy success for me. I'm so happy to have this in my collection because, like I said, I've always loved Vanilla 28, but something stopped me from getting it. I don't know if it was the patchouli, but it just felt a little bit rough around the edges, and this smoothed it out and made it so much better. But if you have Vanilla 28 and you love it, I don't think that you need this. And it does to me have like an aspect of maybe Escapade Gourmand as well. It's just so beautiful, and I can't wait for this juice to get even darker because I know it will. Next is the new Sniff release, and this is called Me, and everybody has been loving this because it's your skin but better scent, and this has like notes of peach, plum, orris, I think a little bit of caramel. And you guys, I am not the biggest fan of this, and if you know me, you know I love a good your skin but better scent, but for me, something about this just misses the mark, and I think it's because it has that peach and that caramel in there. I'm not a huge peach lover. I'm not a huge caramel fan either, so both of those together just really don't mesh with my skin. To me, this really just smells like Baccarat Rouge 540 made airier, with a little bit of peach skin or peach fuzz, and then you add a little bit of like woodiness. That's kind of what Me smells like to me. And I also know 100% it's my skin chemistry because again, it's a skin scent, because I did spray it all over me once. Didn't really like it, but I thought, okay, maybe that's just like the first impressions. I never go fully off first impressions. I wore it a second time, then I sprayed it all over my clothes, kind of like doused myself in it. I went out and about during my day and I just asked my fiance, hey, what do you think about what I have on? And immediately he was just like, And he's a big fan of peach, so I thought immediately he would like it, but I just don't think that this meshes well with my personal skin chemistry. But when he smelled my clothes, he was like, oh, it smells good on clothes. And I do think the opening is where I'm not really liking it, but as it dries down, I do enjoy it. But I just know that I have so many other Your Skin But Better scents, and there are so many out there that I still want, that this is just like not gonna be one that I super reach for. I wish I got what everyone was saying. Everyone else is loving it, and I definitely think it's one that you have to try for yourself. Next is from a fragrance brand that I've seen here all over YouTube, and I wasn't really like 100% sold on it, but when I heard that they did their own creations, I was like, yeah, that's how I knew that I had to jump on this fragrance, and that is Beautiful Bella Embrace from Julianna's Perfume. This is their version of Dama Bianca by Xerjoff, but they added some really amazing notes, and when I tell you guys, this is so ethereal, angelic, signature scent worthy. This is absolutely beautiful. I loved it when I first got it, and as it sat, it has gotten so much more pretty. You guys, something about this is so beautiful, angelic, ethereal, and don't take this the wrong way. It has like a chewy quality to it. I don't know why that word comes to my mind, but something about this just feels like bouncy. But don't let me say that and that throw you off, because that could just be my weird brain making associations, but this is absolutely gorgeous. I've never smelled the OG, but I did have Genuine Noir, and I got rid of it because I didn't really like it. It kind of smelled like bug spray. So when I saw that they did their thing and they added their own notes to it, I knew I had to try it, and I'm so happy they did. Next are two new 7 Virtues fragrances. They did send these over. Thank you so much to 7 Virtues, and I absolutely love working with them. They're such a kind team and an amazing fragrance brand. So the first one is Cherry Ambition, and I had already smelled all of these, this one included, at Sephora, so that's where I fell in love with this brand. So to have this one in my collection, I'm so excited. This is literally a sexy, deep, unique cherry, and I feel like this should go without saying, but like, if I'm showing you a cherry fragrance, I obviously don't think it's medicinal or a basic cherry fragrance. It is one of the most beautiful, smooth cherry fragrances. I think it has notes like orris root and marshmallow in there, as well as like some cinnamon. It's got a black cherry to make it like deep and dark, and some saffron to make it sexy. This is such a well-balanced and well-composed scent, and it says it's best for feeling brave, igniting ambition, and making a statement, and I could not agree more. Next from 7 Virtues is Santal Vanille, and this one is one of the most beautiful sandalwood fragrances in my collection. This has some amazing notes. I believe there's like some coconut milk in here. There's myrrh, vanilla, sandalwood, obviously, and everybody is always comparing any sandalwood scent to Santal 33 by Le Labo and saying like, oh, it could smell like pickles. No, I think what you're smelling in Santal 33 is the papyrus. That can kind of smell pickle-y, and obviously some sandalwoods can too, but like if you do sandalwood done right, it smells smooth and creamy, and that's exactly what I get from here. It's so soothing, it's so comforting, and guess what? On the back it says, best for focusing the mind, releasing tension, and feeling at peace, and this is exactly what that does. So this one, I almost will dare say lasts longer than Cherry Ambition, because I sprayed them both on one arm side by side, and this one I could smell all the way into the night, and it really transformed as I wore it. I kept getting whiffs of Santal Vanille, and I was like, what did I put on? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's this. It is just a beautiful, creamy, cocooning, very soothing sandalwood. I definitely recommend getting your nose on this if you like woody fragrances, Santal fragrances, or sandalwood fragrances. I love that they're at Sephora, so they're very easily accessible, so you don't have to blind buy. All of their fragrances really do evoke emotions for me. Amber Vanilla is in my top 10 for life, so 7 Virtues is one of those brands I will never get over. So we've got 2 new candles from Snif. This is Big Flirt, and this is Guilty Pleasures. So let's get into Big Flirt. You guys, I've already smelled these. I'm not gonna lie, both of these are banging. This one has wild strawberry, champagne, chocolate ganache, jasmine sambac, vanilla milk, patchouli gallo. Look at their freaking packaging. I've had Snif candles before, and they are so potent. You can get this little small size. I think this is a 6 ounce. Yes. and it'll fill up an entire room. I sometimes don't even burn them. I will just take the top off and it will still fill up an entire room. And you guys, this is Valentine's Day capture. So imagine you get one of those hotels that your boo has set up with the rose petals all over the ground, some champagne already poured and bubbling, and you get in the room, you walk through the rose petals, and you get sat down on the bed, and it's time to give Fez some dark chocolate covered strawberries before you open up your gifts. Yeah, this is exactly what that candle smells like. Oh my gosh, like my brain can't even wrap around sometimes how Snif does their fragrances. You think it's gonna smell one way and you're like, oh, this is gonna be good, but no, it is great. It sets such a vibe, and I feel like that's what a candle should do. Next is Guilty Pleasure, and when I saw this, I was so sad that Snif did not give this to us in a perfume version. Again, the packaging is absolutely beautiful. You got notes of fresh raspberry, whipped meringue, almond cake, cherry blossom, powdered sugar, and vanilla bean butter. Are you kidding me? How dare they only think we want this in a candle? Like, I'm a little offended. This is insane. Between the two, I mean, I freaking love Big Flirt, but this is just me and a fragrance. Everything is so creamy, smooth, and well done in here. And I've recently fallen in love with macarons. This literally smells like a cake batter macaron with a little bit of raspberry. Then the fact that I can smell the powdered sugar and the vanilla bean butter is literally blowing my mind. Again, Snif, please, I want to eat this and I want to wear this all over my body. Like, I need it in a fragrance form. And I've seen people in the comments on there being like, why did we not get this in a perfume? And I'm right there with you. Imagine this cute pink bottle. I would buy immediately 2 bottles. So last but not least, moving on to the 5 brown sugar babe oils. I'm a little late because these have been out for, I believe, like a month. So these 3 are the AI the Great collabs, and I don't actually have any of the original fragrances, so I can't really give you comparisons to the original. I can just tell you how I feel about each fragrance. So Brown Bananas Foster is one that I was really excited about, but it's not as like gourmand and banana as I thought. I thought it was gonna be like a banana creme brulee, but this is like a banana creme brulee at a 5-star Michelin restaurant. This is so luxurious and so beautiful. I put these all on my skin yesterday and they lasted so long, even after my shower, like the tiniest drop. And I was so blown away by this. This is not overly gourmand. This is super wearable, done beautifully and elegantly. And I don't get too much banana because I'm not a huge banana fan, but I get the slightest hint of something like creamy banana-ish in the background. If you have any of these brown sugar babe oils and the OGs, let me know how you think they compare and how you feel about them, because this one is making me want to try Ambrosia Imperial. Next is Endless Love, and I think this one is inspired by Amorous Intense. Again, never tried that one, but this one is so pretty, feminine, and classy. It's got some sweetness to it that I really enjoy, and I can definitely see myself pairing this with quite a few fragrances. And if I remember correctly from those notes, there is a white chocolate note in this, and I get something very nice, smooth, and creamy, but this is definitely not gourmand. That just adds like a very nice sweetness to this feminine, pretty scent. I truly can't compare this to anything because I've really never smelled anything like it, but I cannot wait to pair this with I Am Her by Forever Mood. That's immediately what came to mind when I thought about this. We have Perfect Pear, and again, I really like this one. This one has some really interesting notes. It's got pear, apple, rum, divana, some cinnamon, and it is really good. It smells like baked apple and baked pear, and it just is so beautiful. The rum is smooth and really elevates this fragrance, and it's not overly gourmand. It's fresh and sweet while being addicting, and I can really see this shine in the fall and the winter because it's definitely giving baked apple or baked pear pie. Now the next 2 are 2 I'm so excited for, and I have smelled the OG. I actually have one of the OGs. Let's start with Gourmand Girlie. I actually received this in a perfume oil, and you guys, I don't have Escapade Gourmand in my collection because I didn't really feel like I needed it based on the scent profile, but after smelling this has made me rethink it. I'm like, do I need Escapade Gourmand? This is a dead-on ringer. I used to have the dapper version of Escapade Gourmand, and that one was super close to the OG, and this smells exactly like that. A little bit more fluffy, and the tonka bean is a little bit more warm and creamy. This is an extrait, so you need the tiniest drop. How I like to use them is in an unscented lotion because I cannot just apply this straight onto my skin, or it's just going to be too much, too powerful. So I like to dilute this a little bit, but when I tell you, this is going to layer so beautifully with any of your gourmand scents. If you're a gourmand girly, you need to check this out and get this in your collection, especially if you had Escapade Gourmand, or if you just really want something to amp up those fragrances and layer it with. And last but not least for the haul, we've got Muva. I saved the best for last because guess what? This is inspired by Soy Malinois by Dries Van Noten. And I recently got that fragrance for Christmas, and I couldn't have been more excited because, oh my gosh, if you have never tried the OG, this will make you run out and get the OG, and so many ladies have because of smelling this. And if you have the OG and you think it doesn't last as long, or you think it needs a little bit of oomph, this is it. If you want a feminine, pretty, clean, unique, standout, signature worthy fragrance, this is it. So yeah, that is my fragrance haul. That is everything. Let me know what you think about these fragrances down below. Yeah, I'll see you guys for the next haul. Smell you later.